Hello and welcome to your messages for the month of January 2023 and the year ahead. Needless to say, I am wishing every one of you a glorious and divine new year, where all your dreams and wishes come true, not through hard work, but through your frequency. Creating, oh, that one came out when I said that. Creating your dreams and wishes within you, and then they can appear or be attracted to or be created or manifested, whatever words you prefer to use, outside of you, as within, without, as above, below. So much wisdom in these phrases that we've heard all our life. We've heard them all our life and we've never really appreciated them. And sometimes they can sound really corny, can't they? Until you actually experience them. And then you understand the wisdom of phrases such as within, without. It's not as without within, is it? As within, without. Okay, so those of you that don't know me, my name is Deborah Jane Sutton, and you can find out more about me and the things that I do from my website at deborahjanesutton.com or from this YouTube channel. Please check it out. I have lots of information about self-healing, lots of free content about self-healing, lessons in awakening, interviews with people, and also my weekly and monthly readings. So check it all out, including the links in the description. I do tend to give homework. I mean, it just is an extension of what we're learning. We're learning all the time, and we need to expand into more of who we are. And often that can involve further research, I guess, but I just wait and see what comes up in the cards. So most of the homework can be found in Lessons in Awakening in that section of the YouTube channel. If you do live locally in the Pego area of Alicante, please also check out the things that we have going on at the Garden Retreat through the link in the description, thegardenretreatpego.com. Okay. Let's get started and see what's going on. I've got 6 cards here. That's actually quite a lot, but I guess if we're looking at the whole year, let's see the first one. The first one is the Emperor. Major Arcana, starting off strong, Aries, powerful, fiery, passionate. This card can have a number of meanings, so let's see which ones resonate. Take a deep breath and activate your own intuition. Obviously, with general readings, you need to take the message that resonates and leave the ones that don't. He is associated with male authority figures. He can come up when there are issues to be dealt with regarding fathers or father figures in life, or authoritarian figures in life. So that could be in your family. It could be in a relationship where somebody's being a little bit overpowering over you. It could be your own father issues or a father figure in your life, issues that you've, emotions that you've held on to, beliefs that you've held on to that are not serving you, connected to that person. Obviously, on a collective scale, this would relate to I would say, the toxic masculine energy that we have been experiencing and that most of us have been brought up with in the collective, in the governing bodies and in all of the people, things, whatever, that are like controlling the world no more, until you realize that you are actually controlling your own energy and you are sovereign of your own energy. But before we step into that power, this is about stepping into that power. It's about realizing and observing the energies around you that you don't want to take forward into the new year, or you don't want to take forward into the new earth, which we are creating here and now. So it's about identifying, the systems, I want to say, the powerful systems that have been dominated by left brain activities and a left brain way of looking at life, as opposed to the right brain, heart-centered way of looking at life. So it's kind of very logical as opposed to heart-based. So I'm understanding also that this is coming up first because it's about us stepping into our power, us stepping into our own authority over our own body, over our own reality, understanding that there is only us creating our reality, nobody else. So it's up to us to observe the consciousnesses that do not serve us and that we don't want to carry forward with us. And we just stand up for ourselves, take our power back, and understand how we are the creators of our own reality. Okay, we don't have to succumb to any, coercion or any control or manipulation or greed, or toxic masculine power that is, or authority that is coming from outside. We step into our own power. That's what this card is telling me. And here we have the Empress. Oh my goodness me, we've got the Emperor and the Empress. Oh my goodness. Powerful, powerful beginning. This is a powerful new year. I'll get quite emotional now. She's the feminine. She's the divine feminine. So this is about left brain. We need a balance between your left brain and your right brain. Your left brain is your analytical, your logical, your brain orientated stuff. Your right brain is your heart, it's your creativity, it's your intuition, it's your spirituality. Okay, and we need a balance between the two, obviously, but we need to follow the heart, and use the left brain in order to carry out the desires of the heart, rather than dumb the heart down and use the left brain to carry out the authority of something outside of us. Does that make sense? So she's the divine feminine. She's about beauty. There's the sign of Venus. She's the creator, as in she's the creation. She's Mother Earth. So there's a massive message here, especially about on a collective level, coming back to Mother Earth, and then coming back to the divine feminine, not excluding the masculine. There is something here about balancing divine masculine with divine feminine. So what's been apparent in the world, that most of us have been brought up in, has been a toxic masculine energy. But we cannot have a toxic masculine energy if there hasn't been a toxic feminine energy, because it just means, what does toxic mean? It means out of balance. Okay, so the divine feminine has been out of balance. That doesn't mean that we want the divine feminine to now be dominant. No, we just want the divine feminine to rise, and we want the divine masculine to rise. Because while we've had this toxic masculine energy going on, the divine masculine energy has also been suffering, and so basically what's been coming up is a toxic masculine and a toxic feminine energy that's been kind of, the consciousnesses of it has been swirling around our collective, leading us in, I would say, ways that are not divine, shall we say. Everything in creation, right, from a quantum perspective, everything in creation comes from the joining of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Everything, not just humans, everything. So this is a really powerful beginning. This is a real message here, that we are looking to balance the masculine and feminine energies within us, within our reality, within our collective. Okay, and it's a divine masculine and a divine feminine that is coming, divine masculine energy coming from the sun through the crown chakra, however you want to word things, the energy body, however you want to word things, and then the divine feminine energy coming up through Mother Earth, through our lower chakras, meeting at the heart. So this is about as above, below. We've got that phrase again. It's about bringing the highest levels of consciousness into your body, into your heart, so that you can then create from that level, from that frequency of love, balance, harmony, joy, peace. Okay, you are creating in every now moment from your heart. Okay, so the frequency that you are is the frequency that you are creating. So opening our hearts and raising our frequency And balancing our divine masculine and divine feminine energies is what's going to create from our hearts heaven on earth, the new earth. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful for those two to come up. First of all, is really powerful. I do also want to mention that he is Aries, so yeah, I'm kind of have been getting a message through the cards that March, Aries starts in March, so March 2023, I think is going to be a time when we really get an opportunity to step into our spiritual power. I've really been picking that up. Let's have a look at the next one. Page of Swords. Here comes the inspiration. Okay, so this is powerful. Opportunities and offers coming in. Thoughts are air, mental processes. So it is your thoughts and your beliefs. But it's what I said before about it is like fourth dimensional, like thoughts, beliefs, mental processes. But it's like I said before, when you're following your heart, when your energies are balanced, then the thoughts that we're following are divine thoughts. They're thoughts that are expanding you. They're thoughts that have a high frequency. Like, you know, the world is a safe place. The universe always has my back. I am loved. I am lovable. You know, I am loving. I love and accept myself. I trust myself. I am deserving. All these affirmations. I am financially free. I am abundant. I am divine love. I mean, all these positive, powerful frequencies that we can use the words we find in words that we run through our own inner dialogue. These are the ones that we really want to. That's why affirmations are so important. So if you are new to my channel and you don't know yet, I'll just let you know that my first book, I have two books, Heal Yourself to Happiness and Heal Your Soul. The first book, Heal Yourself to Happiness, is free to download from my website in PDF format, my website at deborahjanesutton.com. The first chapter is all about affirmations, the power of words, how to get affirmations to work for you. And then the second chapter is all about gratitude. It's a number of ways that we can raise our frequency. If you are a beginner to energy healing and you're a beginner to stepping into your own power as a sovereign being, understanding that you are an energy being, if that's all new to you, then I really recommend you download that book for free from my website, because those affirmations and those beliefs, you know, that's what the mental process is, the beliefs that we have about ourselves. Okay, and inspiring beliefs, you know, inspiration. This is very much an inspiration card. It's very much inspiration coming in. So we're going to have a lot of inspiration, and it's going to be new inspiration. It's going to be slightly different than the sort of things that we've done before, because we have this balance of masculine and feminine energy. So how can that manifest itself? A lot of it can be this independence. A lot of people, and I was like this as well as a single mum, you know, you have this kind of pride. I don't need anybody. I can do it all myself. And you're full-time working single mum, you know. Yeah, great. A lot of us have done that. I'm not sure how divine that is. I'm not saying we need a partner in a needy way. It's not about needing in a needy way. We can all be independent. Yes, that's not what it's about. It's about enjoying the balance of the energies. And yes, a lot of single parents will say, yeah, I've been mum and dad, and they display qualities of, you know, whatever gender and stuff like that. It's not about that. It's about the community. You know, where were the days where the community brought up a child, you know, and you could trust your community? People don't even know their neighbors anymore. So there is a whole new paradigm to be had here. So with this balance comes this strength. And it's an independence, but looking at a community. There's nothing wrong with asking for support from the community, because when you tap into your own divine gifts, okay, and this could be what this card is saying about inspiration, about what you want to do with your life, where you want to go forward, what creative endeavors do you want to share with other people, what inspires you. When you start sharing your gifts with the world, you start seeing the people around you sharing theirs with you. And it's the most divine balance. It's like, and then there's no competition because we're rising above the duality, right? We're moving towards fifth dimensional levels of consciousness. So there's no competition. So everyone can just enjoy each other's services, while sharing their own. It is a really beautiful place to be. Let's have a look. Yes, it's a really beautiful place to be. The Nine of Pentacles agrees with me. Look at her. She's swanning around her garden. Pentacles is typically financial and business, but businesses are basically focused on making a profit. And I think we're moving into a paradigm where we just need to be focused on making a living. There's a difference in energy there, making a profit or making a living. And again, your objective isn't even to make the money. Your objective is to do what inspires you. Balance your energy, harmonize your energy, do what inspires you, and do what you enjoy. She's swanning around her garden, totally enjoying herself. She's enjoying what she's wearing, and she's enjoying her animals. She's enjoying her garden. She's enjoying nature. Pentacles are financial, can be financial. I look at them as abundance because they represent to me resources. And that's not just financial resources, is it? It's energy, love. And so, yeah, it's abundance in all of its glory. But she has an abundance. She's holding on to these, but she's spending these. It's not about trying to make more and more money. It's about enjoying your money. It's not about worrying about time. It's about enjoying your time. It's not about accumulating resources. It's about enjoying the resources that you have. And it's about enjoying the accumulation of love and joy and peace and harmony and all those lovely things. So she's spending all of this time, money, energy on herself, or on raising her frequency, or on what makes her feel good. So it could be other people's services. Okay. But maybe she's having to spend a little bit more. I think sometimes people often say, like, why is healthy food so expensive? And the healthy path sometimes can be more expensive. I think the question is, why is unhealthy food so cheap? I think you need to ask yourself that question, because often to do the right thing, let's say you were going to buy organic fruit and vegetables, from a local producer who's passionate about what he does or she does. It's going to be pricier. It's going to cost you more than going to the local supermarket, but you're investing not only in yourself and in your own health because it's organic. You're investing in somebody who is passionate about what they do. You're investing in the new earth. And that's why it might cost a little bit more. And it's not just, food and fruit and vegetables. There's a lot of things in life where, to do the more divine thing, the more conscious thing, maybe cost you a little bit more money, especially when it's about looking after your own energy. She understands that her future lies in her frequency and not in her bank account. So she goes and has massages. She buys herself nice clothes if it makes her feel good. Okay. She's spending time in nature, taking time away from her responsibilities or whatever to enjoy and to relax. All of that might be viewed as something that costs money, but she understands that it's an investment in her and her frequency. And she's what I call Lady Muck, and she's just swanning around enjoying her money, her time, her energy, her resources, and she's never going to go without. She has enough. She has plenty, but she's not hoarding, saving for a rainy day. Spend it today on something that's going to raise your frequency. I'm not saying waste it. I'm not saying be irresponsible, but spend your time, money, and resources and energy on what is going to raise your frequency. That's what it's all about this year. And the next one, the Hierophant, Major Arcana. It's the teacher card. And he's also about spiritual lessons, right? So this is about find a mentor and become a mentor. So, yeah, I mean, that could be formally, with a coaching, mentor, or it could be just learning from books and videos and what have you. But it is about learning in whatever area. It could be your inspiration. You've got an idea to do something, but you're gonna have to look into how to get it out into the community, or there's something you might need to study a bit more in order to feel more confident, in order to make it your expert field. So that if you want to be an expert in the field, you might just need to study a bit more. But because it's spiritually orientated, I think it's about understanding how you create your own reality. It comes back to that all the time. If you understand the laws of the universe, as Nikola Tesla says, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, and understanding how the universe works. It's governed by frequency, and so are you, and your reality is governed by your frequency, and understanding that. So I do invite you to have a look at the Lessons in Awakening on this channel, because that's going to really give you an understanding of how your emotions and your thoughts are more powerful than you think. Also, spiritual lessons, I would have a look at something like the Hermetic principles, which basically ancient wisdom, but the 7 Hermetic principles are basically about the laws of the universe. And when you understand them, the principle of mentalism, correspondence, vibration, of course, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender. We've touched on that already with the Emperor and the Empress. They're all relevant. They're all relevant laws of the universe. So just have a look for the 7 Hermetic principles, and see how that resonates with you. Because this card is about learning. It's about studying, but studying spiritual concepts, spiritual lessons. We can also have a look at if we look at the map of consciousness, or the scale of consciousness, you'll see that also offers us what I call spiritual lessons. The step in order to go to the frequency of love, which a lot of people aspire to. We have the inspiration card, right? And she very much loves herself, which is a starting point, right? So to get to access the level of consciousness of love itself, we need to master acceptance and forgiveness. Okay, they're massive. I'll put a link in the description and the video in the end screen for my video on the path to forgiveness, because it really is powerful to see it from different levels, depending on your level of consciousness. And then the higher up you get with your level of consciousness, you actually understand that you are the creator of your own reality. You're just here to enjoy yourself. And if you've released judgment, there's your other spiritual lesson. Okay, another massive spiritual lesson is releasing judgment. If you've released judgment on what's good and bad, there's no right and wrong, there's no good and bad. As Shakespeare said, there's only your thinking that makes it so. If you've released that judgment, then you realize that there is nothing to forgive, because you're not judging other people for their unconscious behavior. You're also not judging yourself for your own unconscious behavior. You're just looking and observing from an emotionally detached perspective, from an emotionally detached viewpoint of, there I was behaving unconsciously, learning from my unconscious behavior, not judging yourself. No right, no wrong. That's what you came here to do. You came here to evolve and learn. And we learn most readily from our adversity and our unconscious behaviors. And I want to say our triggers. So we'll talk about that one in a minute. But that's how we learn. Okay, so we're still being very unconscious, aren't we? Because we're still not totally living in unconditional love, goodwill to all men. That came up in the Christmas messages, didn't it? Can you offer goodwill to all of humanity, even the people that you don't like? So yes, those spiritual lessons, forgiveness, acceptance, and then judgment, takes us into a place where there is nothing to forgive anyway, but just observing from an emotionally detached viewpoint. There's some behavior that's more conscious than others, of course. But if you're not judging one as right or wrong, you're just seeing it as a process, And also, I think it helps to view yourself as you're human, as a child, not in a condescending way, of course, but in that loving way, because we don't judge children. for unconscious behavior, or for not having learned a lesson yet. We don't judge them. We don't sort of, verbally have a go at them or anything because they haven't learned something yet. We just lovingly teach them, right? So that's what we need to do for ourselves as well. And if you view your human as your little self, and your higher self, who is just expressing its soul during your present human's lifetime, okay, you're just expressing your soul. So you haven't always been this human. Sorry that the table's jumping up and down. The cat just jumped on the table. So yes, viewing your human as a child and just referring to your human as your human, who is wonderful and beautiful and gorgeous and doing a fantastic job, right? But is also experiencing the density of being in the physical realm, whereas your higher self gets to tap into the divinity. Your higher self knows pure love and light and all things wonderful. It really is jumping all over the table now and disturbing the. There we go. Push. No. Okay, so the last card, the Five of Swords, is about conflict. And if you have a look, but swords, remember, are thoughts and beliefs, but there's conflict going on here. So this is either you having conflict over your own thoughts and beliefs, or it's you having conflict with somebody else, thoughts and beliefs. So the first thing I want to say about that is just let other people have their opinions. All right. There is a video, I'll put a link in the description of the video in the end screen of my video on understanding thoughts, your own and the thoughts of others. That's a really relevant video to watch. But it's also about triggering. So I'll put a link into that one as well in the description, in the end screen, understanding triggers. So when somebody supposedly triggers you, and then you have an emotion that comes up, and then you're in conflict. You're in conflict with yourself. You've gone into contraction. You're not in an expansive state, are you? And so rather than point fingers at the person who has reflected that frequency back to you, you think that they've triggered you. You think that they've made you angry. But in fact, what they've done from an energetic perspective is they have reflected back to you the anger that you already have inside of you. They've actually, whether they know it or not, have energetically, on a frequency basis, shown you, mirrored back to you, the frequency of the emotion within you. So if it was anger, they're going to create you to feel that anger that is within you. So it's nothing to do with them. They've actually been the messenger. So when you understand that by looking at the video, understanding triggers, then when you understand that, you will be able to look at them with love and compassion and say thank you and all beautiful things, even though they're standing in front of you shouting and screaming and behaving in a really angry manner. You don't need to actually respond to them, but the point is, don't react on that anger. Feel the anger, know that it's yours, process it in a healthy way. Lots of ways to process emotions. I'm a big fan of the emotion code. Again, check out the self-healing techniques in my YouTube channel. I have emotional freedom technique, the emotion code, lots of ways that we can process those emotions. Once those emotions have been processed, you don't have the frequency within you, then the situations outside of you won't reflect back. And if you do observe anger in somebody outside of you, it's not going to trigger you. You can observe it for what it is with no judgment and no trigger, no reaction, because it's not within you. You can only judge it, okay, and be triggered by it if it's within you. Take responsibility for your own emotions. Take responsibility for your own emotions. Yes, that's a good one. Wow. So, yes, lovely message. Balancing our masculine and feminine energy, following any inspiration that comes in, enjoying our time, money, and resources and energy, learning spiritual concepts, understanding the spiritual lessons, finding a mentor, learning from them, and then passing on what we've learned to others, either formally or informally. It could be over the garden fence to a neighbor, it could be to your children, or it could be as a life coach, or a healer, or a spiritual teacher, or what have you. And then still understanding your emotions, and remember that they're your emotions. Take responsibility for your emotions, and use techniques, which I explain in the video of understanding triggers, to process those emotions from your energy field, so that you can then fill up on love, peace, harmony, joy, and all those wonderful things. And then that frequency that you have within you will get reflected back to you, will get mirrored back to you in a world of peace, harmony, love, and joy. That is how we create heaven on earth. That is how we create the new earth. That is how we get rid of the toxic authoritarian energies that we have been living with. Wow. Lots and lots of love to you. Have a fantastic January, and a whole fantastic new year. Bye for now. Check out your weekly messages as well on my channel. Bye for now. Love you all.